All right, let's see if we can start getting our hands wrapped around this concept of knowledge. All right, so here's the question for you. Does Ernest know that Brenda's birthday is today? Okay, so we're looking. Does Ernest have knowledge of Brenda's birthday being today? And here are the conditions. He believes her birthday's today, but it's actually next week. Is it fair to say that under these conditions that Ernest knows that Brenda's birthday is today? We'd say well, no, he doesn't know it's today. He believes it is, but he's wrong, right? So what he believes isn't true. And because it's not true, he can't claim this is a basis for knowledge. So no, not true, doesn't know it. What about this? He doesn't have any opinion about when Brenda's birthday is. He doesn't think about it. It just happens to be today. Does Ernest know that Brenda's birthday is today? It's well, no, because he doesn't even have a belief about when it is. So you can't make a claim to knowledge without a belief. But you also can't make a claim to knowledge just because you have a belief, right? So as we saw in the first example, Ernest has a belief about when Brenda's birthday is, but having a belief wasn't sufficient for him to make a claim to knowledge because his belief was false. Now down here, he doesn't even have a belief. So even though Brenda's birthday is today, he can't be said to have knowledge about when Brenda's birthday is because he's lacking a belief. All right, what about these circumstances? Ernest randomly throws a dart at the calendar at the same time he shouts, "Brenda!" really loud, and the dart lands on today's date, and based on that, Ernest says, you know what? I know today is Brenda's birthday because that dart landed on this day on the calendar. And he's right. Today is Brenda's birthday. Does he know it's Brenda's birthday? And we're like, dude, no, that's just coincidence. Okay, that's like the broken clock being right twice a day. It's not really telling you the correct time. It's just stuck on that time. It's why your math teachers will have you show your work, because they want to know that you actually know the answer to the problem and that you didn't just randomly guess it. Because if you randomly guessed it, then there's something that you need to learn because you don't know how to get at the right answer to that problem. So we see the same thing here going on, is that even though Ernest has formed a belief, and even though the belief happens to be true, he doesn't have sufficient justification for that belief. We would look at him and say, you don't know that. You just threw the dart at the dartboard. Now look at this scenario. Ernest checks out Brenda's driver's license, notices that today is her birthday. So the driver's license looks totally legit, and Ernest has no reason to doubt the accuracy of Brenda's driver's license. And so based on this, Ernest says, you know what? I believe today's her birthday, and it is her birthday. Can we say now that Ernest knows today is Brenda's birthday? And we might say, yeah, there's something kind of special about this last scenario. One is that Ernest has a belief. He believes that Brenda's birthday is today. And the belief is true. Her birthday is, in fact, today. And he has justification for this belief, the driver's license. So this is going to take us to a definition of knowledge that Plato started. Knowledge is when you have a true, justified belief. There are some things that are true, but if we don't believe them, we can't claim them as knowledge. And there are some things that we think are justifiable, but they may not be true. And then there are, of course, lots of beliefs we have that aren't true or justifiable. But the combination of these three qualities together create a definition for us of knowledge. Okay, but that's not going to sort of fix all of our problems, because now we just have more questions, always more questions. What does it mean to say that a belief is true? And how do we determine whether or not a belief is justified? What serves as appropriate justification? And why must we believe the truth in order for it to be knowledge? Okay, so you've just kind of opened up this, it's sort of like those Russian dolls, where you open one up and there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. And this is what's happening to us in our exploration of epistemology. We find that as we come to conclusions to how to answer questions, there are more questions. So we have this working definition of what knowledge is, true justified belief. But now we've got to figure out, okay, what does it mean to say that a statement is true? What does it mean to say that something is justified? What's sufficient justification? And why do I have to believe things in order for this thing to qualify as knowledge?